So evening yogis, seated or lying down, just start as you wish. And we'll just have a few minutes just to kind of come into our space. However your day has been, if it's been busy physically running around or mentally, it's really nice just to kind of settle. Let's decompress a moment and tune into us, into our being, using our breath. So maybe close your eyes for a moment. Take a lovely deep inhale and a nice slow exhale. And then notice where that breath naturally went. And perhaps if it was in the chest, just deepen it to the belly. Taking another breath in and slow exhale. And as you do this, just notice your shoulders just beginning to melt a little. Let the tension and stress that we hold in the body from the day just ease away. And as we breathe, let's tune into any tightness we're holding in our back. And where in our back, if it is upper back, around the middle or lower spine and back. How do we feel through our neck? And are we holding a lot of tension around the major joints, the hips and knees, shoulders, elbows? Just coming within and just looking within at yourself, without judgment, of course, just purely observing this very moment. And just noticing if the mind is starting to just slow down a little. I always like to think of it like a snow globe that's been shaken up all day, and you set it down and it is still, and everything starts to settle, and you see the image, clarity comes. So if you're lying down now, just hug the knees in. Prepare just to come to seated, and if you're already in a seated position and you want to just rotate your spine a little or roll your shoulders, whatever feels nice, just to, again, now that we've felt into the body, just move gently. We'll come to seated, and we're going to do Tratak tonight, so candle gazing. If you need to go and grab a candle, please do. We'll give you a moment. And if you have, ideally, we always kind of try and bring the candle to eye level, but it may not always be, convenient to do that where we're sitting or where our mat is. So I'm just going to use a yoga block. Light my candle, and as long as it's pretty safe, I don't want any real hazards happening around you. But just bringing it up maybe a little bit away from the floor. But if you can't, it really doesn't matter. The idea is to gaze at the candle. So we're going to take this for about 5 minutes. And what we do is we gaze at the heart of the flame. So not the top and not the bottom, so we're right in the middle. Hopefully your flame isn't wavering and it's quite nice and steady without any drafts around you. And the idea of Tratak is to gaze at this heart of the candle for quite a while, trying not to blink, but obviously sometimes we do. Your eyes may start to sort of tingle or tire, or maybe even water a little. And this is perfectly normal and ideal because Tratak is a very cleansing experience on the eyes. And then when you feel the need or the urge, just gently shut the eyelids and you'll see the kind of the negative image in your, behind the eyelids of the candle. And then when that fades, just open the eyes again. And we repeat this basically, just gazing, closing the eyes, gazing again. It's very, very calming. Your mind may wander, but just try and come back to the candle flame. So just rest the hands one on the other, Dhyana Mudra. Get comfortable and relaxed to start with. And then we'll begin. So gazing at the heart of the flame. Nice gentle breaths. And your eyes may flicker and dart about a little bit, that's fine. It does settle. Relax. Just staying focused on the heart of the flame. And maybe when the eyes really blur or they get tired, just close them gently. Notice what you see. And then opening when you're ready. Gently breathing. And then as and when in your own time, just closing eyes, opening when you're ready. Noticing the changes that you see in the flame, colour or shapes. Again, in your own time, just opening and closing your eyes. And so just gently coming back, opening your eyes and taking a few blinks. Looking around, you might find that you can still see the candle in your eyes, like looking at the sun briefly, isn't it? It creates an impression there still. So entirely up to you if you'd like to keep your candle alight, but pop it somewhere safe where it's not going to be a hazard. I'm just going to gently blow mine out. How did that feel? I find Tratak really quite calming. The mind wanders a little bit, but not as much as other variations or other forms of meditation at times, because I think because you're opening and closing the eyes and there is something that you're looking at, whether outwardly or very inwardly, it does hold your concentration. And I think there is something really lovely about connecting to the fire element, the flame, and the heart of it. Watching the little flame dance around at times, if there's a little breeze. So we're going to come into turtle for our first pose. Nice stretch for our back. Those of you that have got a bit of tenderness around the knees, I would suggest making it a little bit of a softer pose. Perhaps you can put a cushion behind the knees. It just releases the compression of this pose, as I say. Some of you may need to have something under your ankles as well, like a rolled up hand towel or something like that. Maybe just a bit more comfortable for you. Otherwise, give it a go. We'll come forward. You might want a cushion around the pillow, around the belly, just to start with. But we're going to come into essentially a child's pose. If you need a block under your forehead to start with, that might be nice. And just relaxing into this. Try and let your shoulders round and soften and release. If at any time you need to come out of this pose, please do. Keep letting the arms and shoulders relax. Notice if your breath feels shallow. Just start to deepen into the belly. Really expand through the back of your body. As you start to get used to this pose, you might notice that your abdominal muscles and belly are tense. Seeing if you can gently relax this. Just keep looking through the body for anything that tenses up again. Back of the neck, face.
Let's just take one more breath here. And bring the hands either side of the head and just allow yourself to lift ever so slowly. Having the head so low and in this position, we don't want any dizziness as we come up. So just take that nice slow movement as we lift the head. And then come into a nice neutral pose again in your own time. Notice how it feels to sort of to release the legs and stretch out now. You might find there's a real lovely sensation across the tops of your legs, the shins, that's very stimulating on the stomach meridian. And through the back of the body where we stretch, the bladder meridian is targeted. So just allow everything to relax. If you need to just shuffle a little, let everything soften. That was only about 3 minutes. What do you feel tingling on the tops of your feet? Tops of the shins, lower legs, around the knees. Possibly the back of your knees, you'll feel sensation, and inner thighs. Just exploring whatever you're noticing. And enjoying a few breaths, lovely deep breaths. Let's hug our knees in. Draw in the right one, then the left one. And a nice little rock. We're going to come into twisted roots next. Take the spine into opposite direction. And tonight I'm going to use 2 pillows. One for the shoulder, one for the knees. So if you want to just place one to the right hand side and have maybe a second pillow to your left shoulder, I think as an evening practice it's just nice to get really supported here. So come back into a lying position, bend the knees, bring your left leg over your right as if you're crossing your legs. And then either rolling over to your side, I sometimes like to lift the lower part of my body and then sort of turn on the spot and then bring the knees down to the right. And then if you've got the mobility to just bring another little pillow behind your left shoulder, then it feels supportive. It means you can relax, not have to worry about holding the pose. Just make sure you're comfortable on your right hip. Maybe another little blanket under this area can feel a little bit softer. So coming into this twisted roots, try to begin to relax everything. There's always a tendency to hold a lot of tension on the inner thighs and the legs. Just let everything go. Just soften. Your feet may just slip and find a spot to stop slipping. Relax your neck and your face. And then unclenching any tight buttocks and lower back. But keep returning back to the inner thighs and the backs of your thighs and just anywhere in the legs that are tight. And then when you feel like you're really starting to settle, just tune into your breath. Notice how the breath moves more into your left lung. The left side of the body is moving more. Lovely for gallbladder, this one. Keep relaxing your buttocks and back. How does it feel this evening? Does it feel good? Is this a welcome position and a welcome twist? Keep relaxing. Good for your liver and the gallbladder, as I said, and kidney channel, solar plexus stimulated here. The whole digestive, upper and lower part of the digestive system. So root, sacral and solar plexus chakra. Notice if this pose has become softer now. And as we take just one more breath in it, held for pretty much 5 minutes, notice the difference between this pose and the length of time to settle and that first pose, turtle. So when you're ready, let's just take one breath. And in whatever way is comfortable for you, just unravel your legs. Just moving your pillows slightly away from you. Come into neutral, just experiencing what it feels like here. Nice deep breath. Relaxing through the neck and just really hone in on what you're feeling through your body. It might be very much the right side that you're feeling. Just following your breath. Notice if you can, as you relax through the back of your neck, everything else just relaxes down your spine. And then we'll bring our knees in as we come into the other side shortly. Have a little nice little rock. Massage the back. And then we're going to basically swap the pillows over to the other sides. So still in this lying position, knees bent, bring your right leg over your left now. So literally just like crossing the legs and then rotating the body towards the left-hand side. I'm again going to use a nice little pillow for my right shoulder. And it might feel really different coming in this side. Sometimes it does with these two-sided poses. It feels really different. take your time to get into the pose and get comfortable. I think that's so important, because then you can really just let go and relax. Let your legs possibly sort of slide and slip. And then just allowing yourself to soften. Always return to the inner thighs and the legs for the tension. Lower back and buttocks. And you might find that, depending how long ago you had something to eat, that your tummy might start to rumble here. It's just energy sort of shifting around and moving. Quite normal. Try to relax the sides of your waists, both sides, shoulders. And then returning back down to calf muscles and backs of the knees. How does it feel to breathe? Feeling the right side of your body open up. Just keep relaxing. And enjoying where your breath moves in the body in this shape. Twists are always wonderful for the solar plexus, which is very linked with our confidence and our self-worth, courage and being brave. So if we're feeling a little bit low or poor me, confidence has been knocked, then coming into a twist is a really good choice. We'll take one more breath. And then gently, slow motion, really nice and slowly, work your way out. And we'll come into neutral, really feeling our spine. Let it reset into nice neutral alignment. What do you feel? Where do you feel it? Was that really nourishing for your upper body between the shoulder blades? Or was it perhaps lower back that felt good?
Allow the breath just to be easy and steady. And then gently hugging. It's so nice just to have these moments in between poses for a time of reflection, to really tune into your body. If you went straight into the next thing, you'd miss all that sort of unconscious information of what your body's telling you and where that particular pose has created relief. We're going to come into puppy now. So with turtle, we sort of curled the spine forwards. With this puppy pose, like melting heart pose, we're going to bring the body down. It does create a little, very subtle bend into our back. So coming down here. If you want to, it's a nice evening practice, you just want to bring a little kind of cushion under the chest to rest on. It just has a feeling of support. So we'll come down, lower the head, arms stretched. If this aggravates any shoulders, please sort of adapt or come out of the pose. This is a lovely pose for your heart centre. So with this one, the hips are over the knees, so the legs create like a right angle shape. Nice deep breath in and a nice sigh, release out. We won't hold this for ages, just a nice stretch this evening, a few minutes. So notice where you're holding tension, possibly through your arms and your neck. And how does it feel through the upper back, between the shoulder blades and a little bit higher? And also noticing your calf muscles, whether there is a tension there as you hold this position. How does it feel through the arms? Try and relax a bit more if there is tension in the upper arms. And we're going to take one more breath here. And gently lift our head, walk our hands towards the body. That was 3 minutes. And sometimes, just for an evening practice, it's nicer to make some of these shorter and not do the whole 5. It's quite intense for the arms, that one. And through the arms we have the heart and the lung channel and the large and small intestine. Lie back, notice what you feel, especially through the lower back and arms, which is where we're targeting with that pose. We're in the season of autumn, which is the metal element, and the
lung and large intestine, the emotion that's attached to this particular time of year is grief, which is linked with the lung. In traditional Chinese medicine, this is the case. Nice deep breaths. And just enjoying whatever you feel the after effects from that pose. How does it feel through your lungs and to breathe? Just notice any difference in this area of the body from perhaps lying down after other positions. Lovely just to self-reflect on all ways that we move the body and all the after effects. So let's come in for a hug. And if you have a block, we're going to come into supported bridge. If you prefer to use a bolster, which is often softer on the body, then you can do that as well. So literally bringing that in the place where we have the block. And of course, with the block, you can have it on the high level, on this top third level, or turn it sideways and have it on that second level, whatever you choose. This evening, I think I'm going to go on this level, just slightly sort of, lower than I would normally do. So come into the starting position for bridge. Lift the pelvis, lift the hips, and just place that block. I'll show you both ways. So if you want it up this way on the highest level, then just not on the lumbar spine, on the sacrum. Okay, so that's sort of the flat of the part of the body which is in line with the top of the buttocks. You'll know where it feels most comfortable. But if you want to go a little bit softer this evening, I'm just going to take it down a little bit and be a little bit more nurturing with my body. We're still lifting the heart a little bit away from the mat and above the head. We don't get as much of a stretch across the hip creases and the belly, but it's still quite a nice restful pose. Whichever way you've come into this, always bring your awareness to where the shoulders connect to the mat, because quite often you might feel like there's a lot of tension held there in the back of the neck. Keep trying to relax there, relax the inner thighs. Nice deep breaths. It really doesn't matter which way you've got your block, whatever you've chosen tonight. It's about how you can relax into your body. How difficult is it to keep letting go? It feels nice to breathe into the belly. It's a nice fluid movement up to the chest and lungs. Keep trying to relax the inner thighs and around your knees. Just let the legs comfortably hang out to the side. Softening your upper back and shoulders. How does this pose feel for you this evening? Is it feeling nice or challenging in any way? And we'll take one more deep breath here. And gently coming out the pose, I like to come onto tippy toes, bring the feet close to the body and lift. Just popping the block away and simply coming down as sort of smoothly as possible. Neutral. Deep breath and let go, relax, tune into whatever you're feeling. Sometimes it's quite nice to take the poses sort of down a notch so they're simpler for you sometimes. Other times it's nice to challenge the body. How does your nervous system feel? Is it calm, relaxed? And just notice where your mind has been, whether you've been really present the last few poses or the whole practice. How often has your mind drifted to the future or the past? How often through this practice have you been quite conscious of your breath? So let's bring these in. Gentle rock. And we'll end with a nice supportive little bench pose. So again, this is sort of another little back bend. We've done a few poses this evening where we've kind of brought the body back. Puppy has done it. The bridge has done that pose as well. And so again, because a lot of poses in this yin yoga bring the body forward and we're stretching through the back of the body. It's nice just to support here. This part actually is less to do with the lumbar spine and more actually to get a nice curve into this upper back, the thoracic spine. So I like to bring the cushion about 2-3 inches away from the body and literally just lie back, enjoy. If you need something behind your neck, small rolled up towel, or just shuffle to a point where the back of the head just hits your pillow and you feel supported. Arms wherever, by the side of your body or further away. Let the whole body relax here. Again, another nice little heart opener, opening the chest and lungs. Enjoy the deep belly breaths.
Try and relax your buttocks, lower back, neck as well. Not only is this lovely for the heart, it also is lovely for your throat chakra, Vishuddhi. If you're finding it challenging to express yourself, or if you ever need to have a bit of an awkward conversation with somebody, then open the throat, balance your throat, wear pale blue or royal blue. Other ways to balance this area, to sing and hum or chant. Although yin doesn't necessarily focus too much on the chakras, it's more about meridians in the traditional Chinese methods. We do hit the chakras. See, whenever you're lying in Shavasana, that is all chakras stimulated. The fact that we're on the floor, it's root chakra. Twists that we've done today are sacral and solar plexus. This is heart and throat. And Tratak is very stimulating for your third eye, your Ajna chakra. And the crown, Shavasana, all chakras. So in a very gentle way, we give our body a lovely balance to our subtle body. As you lie here, just being completely supported by your mat and this cushion, Mother Earth beneath you. Just tune into the root, your heart and throat. You're safe and secure, loved and deserve love. And feel safe enough to express yourself with whatever you want to say. Let's take one more breath here. And gently just lift your head so that you start to gaze at your toes. Pull the cushion out and come back into neutral spine. And just notice you've only moved a few inches back to the mat and noticing how that feels. Lovely deep breaths. Nourish your body. And when you're ready, let's hug the knees in. Relaxation now. If you'd like to come up to seated, be my guest, or if you want to stay lying on the floor,
whichever position you want to come in, just get yourself nice and warm. When you lie down for a little while, the temperature does drop a little, so get cozy. Pop on a piece of clothing or blanket. Time to relax. Relax your body from head to toe. And we know how to do this. Just scan through, releasing muscles. Let them release their grip on the bones, if you can imagine that. Soften through all the major joints. And relax your face and neck. I'd like you to imagine that you're in a cozy living room, and it may well be yours. Whether or not you have a real fire, imagine you have a lovely, lit, warm, real fire in front of you. Logs, lots of little sparkles that come off from the flames. And like we did with Tratak earlier, you may just sit in this really big, cozy armchair. Maybe you have a buffet in front of you. You can lift the legs and pull over a lovely warm sort of tartan blanket. The lights are low. You may only have a few lights around you. It's mainly the light from this lovely big fireplace that you have in front of you. And maybe there are 2 armchairs just sat towards this fireplace. You take one, and is there somebody else in the other one? Or is it empty and you're just all alone with your own thoughts and in your own space? And if you would like to invite anybody to sit in this chair next to you, gazing at the fire, then you can. And you don't even have to speak. You can just enjoy the company of a loved one or a friend, family. Just gazing at the fire. Enjoying the warmth. And just maybe you'll close your eyes and listen to the cracks. Fire is a real transformative power. Anything that we want to change in our life. As you sit with this vision, you might have a nice hot cup of hot chocolate and some cookies. Make this a really nourishing scene in your head.
Bring your thoughts gently back from wherever they drifted off. Coming back into your body. And once again, just feeling the body. Notice your thoughts and inner dialogue right in this moment. And now beginning to just move the body physically, gently, fingers and toes. Maybe rolling the head from side to side a few times. If you're seated already, just a gentle flex or roll of the spine. And if you're lying down, ever so gently bring the knees into chest. Take a few breaths as you do this and just hold the knees, nice little rock on your back. Coming back into your evening, but in a different mindset, in a different space. Nice and relaxed. And restored as well. In your own time, come to seated. It's just an hour that we take to do this, but it's so healing and nourishing and balancing in so many ways. Just bring your hands to heart. Om Shanti. Namaste.